This week on our Music Spotlight, we take you to the nation's polka capital, Cleveland, Ohio, as we talk with Al Markic, leader of the Markic-1984 Orchestra. Al Markic, who plays banjo and guitar, has been involved with the polka circuit ever since he learned to play the two instruments. But Al isn't real sure on how his music career came into being.
To be honest with you, I'm not really sure. I think my dad had a friend by the name of John Skriner. As a matter of fact, his son plays with the Wojtyla band right now. And he talked to my dad, and he thought I should be playing some instrument. Of course, he played banjo. So they went downtown to a hock shop and picked up a banjo for around 25 bucks, and that's got to be, what, 35, 40 years ago. And I got a tug on the ear every once in a while to get started with practice, and I guess that's how things got started, so.
Once Al got started, it wasn't long before his style of playing developed into an industry trademark. Just like what Johnny Gimbel and Buddy Emmons are to the country music recording scene, Al Markic is to the polka music recording industry.
Going down to albums, I can't tell you, but I've cut up to date 515 tunes commercially. But don't forget, I started when they were making 78s yet. I made 78s with Pecan, and then later on they went into the LPs. And like I say, I've cut 515 tunes.
Al says that the industry's demand for his style of playing remains somewhat of a mystery to him.
I don't know. I guess they tell me join up and play, and I guess we play. So I don't really, I can't attribute it to anything.
One reason for the great demand in his style of banjo playing might be due to the fact that Al's style is solely his own. It's not modeled after anyone else, nor has anyone else ever modeled their style after him. In essence, it's a unique style that can only be identified as Al Markic.
No, I just more or less picked up my own style. I got one guy that, when I was a youngster yet, that played guitar and banjo, and it was strictly rhythm, no solos or anything like that. Of course, usually you go into solo work and that, and I never went into solo work. I love playing with the band. I like a good rhythm, and I like to see people when they can dance and whoop it up, then you're really working for them. So.
Now, in addition to being a studio musician, Al is also involved in other avenues of the recording industry as well.
I do record distributing. I also I have General Record Company, publishing company, and I handle record for somebody who wants to cut a record. Well, I handle it for them. I take care of all the paperwork and the shipments and everything else, anything that goes with it. So I like the business, so I'm at it.
And here's the title cut off of an album that was produced by Al Markic. It's called Project Polka by Marty Sintich and Company. In our next show, we'll bring you part 2 of our music spotlight on Al Markic. This week, we continue with part 2 on our music spotlight series with Al Markic. Last time on our Music Spotlight, we told you how Al Markic spent the early part of his career working as a sideman and doing session work with many of the industry's top groups, including John Pecan, Eddie Habit, and Frankie Kramer, to name just a few. Well, somewhere around the mid-1960s, the polka music scene took on a new look, and Al played an integral part in kicking off the new era by forming his own group, the Almars, a group that added a whole new dimension to the industry.
The Almars, I picked up a few of Kenny Bass's men when they quit. I wanted to start a band. I was 41 when I decided to start a band. I started the Almars. I had Dick Soja and I had Dick Fleischman, and Porky Panikwart, who previously were with Kenny Bass. And I picked up a bass player, and I got started, and I had that band for 5 years.
In those 5 years, the group cut 4 albums and with their unique style opened the doors for many of today's top bands like the Taddies and Rodix.
Let's put it this way, they were all top-flight musicians, so you couldn't go wrong. We had our own styling. Well, I guess it's like any other band, you come up with your own style, and if it hits and people like it, why, it moves.
That got the Almars moving in the right direction was the title cut off their debut album, Look Sharp, a revamped version of the Gillette Friday Night Fight song.
That was given to me, somebody gave me the idea on it. Said, why don't you try that as a polka? And we gave it to John Gare, who was head of the recording company. He checked up on it to get permission, and we did it. And it seemed to go pretty good.